Kanpai!
Kanpai!
Welcome, weebs, to this week's episode of Kanpai Cast. I'm sounding a little bit rushed, only because it is currently, like, 2.5 hours later than we normally record. Only because we wanted to actually have some shows that had a 6th episode in this season. God knows how many of them have actually delayed a week, if not 2, if not started late. Anyway, so this week, going to go straight into housekeeping. Not much to talk about in a great deal. First off, we got Discord. If you want to come chill, chat with us, and talk about how much our taste in anime is just awful, or even agree with us to how much Gene of AI just sucks. Come join us in the Discord. There is a link in the description below.
We honestly have a lot of fun there. A lot of fun there.
So much fun. Additionally, we have the viewer submitted memes. So these are memes that are curated by the lovely Virgil, who painstakingly goes out of his time to actually make sure that there's, that the memes that we have chosen do not clash with what the viewers have chosen. And additionally, we don't know what they are. So we will see them fresh the same time you guys see them fresh. Unless you've been reading the channel. You know the idea. I don't think there's great. I will probably say now, I think we'll likely end up delaying the 12th, the full season review, probably
until everything's after actually aired.
Yes, because
maybe the exception of Zom 100, since that's been delayed twice now.
2 weeks, yeah.
Maybe we'll see. At least the vast majority of them should be.
Yeah.
But yep.
Yes.
Okay. And then there's another note here. Man, that Griffith guy, he did nothing wrong. Am I right?
Wow, that's a controversial take, Xeno. Wow, I can't believe you would just come out and say that.
just straight up said it. I'm half impressed.
I need to get back to
and half cringe.
I need to get back to actually finding time to read Berserk. However, let's get on with the actual show. Obviously, just to actually point out, one of our most recent episodes, it was the fan theories. That one was our most successful episode as of recent. It quadrupled our viewer numbers, or quintupled our viewer numbers, which was just absolutely crazy. And we could actually see that with plenty of people that hadn't actually subscribed to the channel. So if you're listening now and you haven't actually subscribed to the channel, maybe consider subscribing to the channel. And now, without further ado, and this isn't the news, let's get on with the main topic. Oh,
God damn it, Thaylien!
I'm sorry, I moved around.
This is why we can't have nice things. This is why we cannot have nice things. I am tired of your horse shit, Thaylien. Seriously. What is this even, Thaylien? What is this here? Right, okay. So, as
it's not
Nasuth,
smarter, I can tell you that.
As Nasuth has the most to review, and I dropped way too many last season. In the last 3 episodes.
Let's start a bit with what we've dropped. So Thaylien and I were watching Ayaka, and we both dropped it at different times. I think I dropped it at episode 4, and you made it to 5. Oh, you only made it to 3. Okay.
3, yeah.
Yeah, I tried watching 4, and it was just the same.
Any sense of wonder that should have been happening on this. Any sense of exploration and adventure. It was just. And then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened, and he stared at it.
Xeno and I were watching Dark Gathering, and we both. I think I also tried watching episode 4, and I think you stopped at 3. And
no, I stopped at 1.
You stopped at 1. Oh god,
I stopped at 1.
So I tried watching episode 4. Still just as terrible. I really honestly tried. Liar Liar and Reign of the Seven Spellblades. Did you guys dropped that in the 3 episodes, didn't you?
No, I watched the 4th episode of Liar Liar, and it did not get any better. And I got so bored of Reign of the Seven Spellblades, I gave up halfway through the 5th episode because I just found myself just scrolling through Instagram reels. I'm like, oh, this is clearly not captivating my attention. However, when Loz told us about the events in the 6th episode, I was just taken aback entirely and just like, what am I even
Why
seeing? Why
is that on there?
I'll fix it later, it's fine. Anyway, right,
Sometimes.
so should we move on? Nasuth,
Let's begin.
Nasuth, go.
Right. So there are actually a couple of other ones that I dropped, but I wanted to talk about them as well.
Nasuth,
so let's start with My Happy Marriage. Can we please start with
which one? What does that look like? I don't know what that looks like.
That one.
That one.
The very bland looking girl. So this one, the idea of this story is that you've got these powerful magic families, and this girl is born into one of them with, it's a Cinderella situation. She's born into this family, and then her mother dies, and the father remarries. And because she seemingly has no magical talent, she's relegated to the position of a servant. And her younger stepsister gets all the attention and praise and everything. And then she's married off to this guy who is like one of the most powerful families in the current Japan kingdom that they're in. And because she has this very humble attitude from having grown up as basically a servant, she's the first person who has tried to be married to him that he actually also loves back. Could be an interesting concept.
No, wait, can you repeat that?
She's the only person who he has loved back. He's had wife candidates. Okay. He's had wife candidates before, but they've all wanted him for his money or power or whatever. She just wants she just wants to make him happy, and so that's It's still probably good for fans who like that kind of slow romantic comedy, but for me, it's a pass. Romantic comedy. Sorry, romance. That kind of slow romance. And it's because it is so slow. It actually, this is my only note. Like, this is the entire note I took for watching episodes 4 and 5. This show had the audacity to actually have a pretty good episode 4, where we actually get to see the growth in our main character, our woman here, because she's now spent some time with him. She's gotten away from her family. He's discovered what they've done to her, how they've treated her, and so he's determined to try and make her life better. And then, while she's out on an outing, runs into her stepsister and ends up getting re-traumatized. And they actually do a really good job of showing this. Like, I couldn't believe it. And then in the next episode, they're just right back to the same slow pace where nothing really happens. And it's like, if that's just how it's going to be, I'm not watching. I can't. It's too slow for me. I just do something. It's like, it's that meme where the guy's poking a thing with a stick. Do something. Just do something.
It looks relatively well. Wait, is he holding his hand up? Oh,
no.
He's trying to poke it. Right. It looks relatively well animated. It is.
Yeah. The quality is great. It's just like there's supposed to be this whole subplot going on where the family of this guy on screen right now, that's the stepsister, the blonde one is the stepsister. She's married to him now, but he is the love interest of our original main woman character. And so now there's this whole subplot about how his family is trying to actually maneuver to break up our main two characters and get him to marry our main woman again, because she's technically from a really powerful bloodline, and even though she doesn't have any magic, it sounds like an interesting subplot. They do nothing with it. They do nothing with it. It's just like, So yeah,
kind of shocking that this is on Netflix.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and it's already dubbed. It came out simul-dubbed.
Oh, really?
They're airing it one episode at a time, though. So, like, even though it's on Netflix, they didn't drop the entire season.
I mean, it's better than like what they did with was it Comey? There was like yeah, Yeah, it was at Komi that it was a whole month behind.
Yeah,
right, and it wasn't getting
yeah.
simuldubbed or anything. It was just a full flat out month behind, and then they fucked up the subtitles anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yep, I would suggest watching it in the dub though. Watching it in the sub, because the voices are just better.
That's fair.
That's really it. I mean, I could talk a little bit about Gene of AI, but I think I'll save that for my next dropped episode. So if you guys, what do you guys want to go ahead and continue?
Yeah, I am just going to kick this off with my usual one I start with for this season, which is Bleach, 1,000-Year Blood War, and we're on to season 2 of that.
Okie? Or is it part 2? Yeah.
Right. Yes, so it's part 2. And we are seeing more Kuboism. I'm loving it. It's like the original hype builder, as I've said so many times. In the previous part, we saw all of the captains getting their asses handed to them by these Quincy's. In some ways, so that every victory they had, that the good guys seemed to get, was being countered immediately after by the bad guys, just going, "Oh, well, yeah, no, we accounted for that." And so it's just going from depth to depth to depth, down and down. And every time, it's just trying to claw back this thing. In the background, we've had the fact that our main protagonists, Ichigo, Rukia, Renji, for the actual powerful main characters, were taken out of the fight, and were having to go and get their strength back with the help of the super powerful Zero Division.
I'm noticing that Nasuth is circling the.
No,
the
it's fine. He's just giving some background. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Sorry. This is what did I give it last time? There's a very high acquired taste, because you have to like the shonen stuff, and so I'm going to keep giving it a acquired taste at 4 stars.
That's pretty high praise.
And this is. It's all for these little moments. Like we saw Rukia start her story in the very start of the series, when she becomes a friend of Ichigo. Then she gets kidnapped by her own brother to become a sacrifice because of breaking the rules and everything else. Then in a later part of the series, we see her gaining some strength and giving the actual powers that she has a try, and fighting off a representation of the pain and tragedy she has in her backstory. It made her on a level footing with the rest of the cast at that point. But we finally see the end of this arc that she's gone through to become a truly powerful person in this world of powerful people. She gets recognized by her older brother. She gets to defeat the man that defeated him. It's these real standout character moments, all done with this really unique style that Kubo has, and his way of presenting things is, I can't stop praising it. He's the greatest of all time. At what he does.
Oh, it sounds like Xeno has a question.
I do have a question. I do.
Yes.
So one of the biggest sufferings of a lot of Shonen Jump stuff is the recap trauma, right? Is how much of the show is just recaps. And I know that in the original Bleach, like, it did just fall into recap central because they were too close to the actual release of the manga.
A few things of that in the original. 1,000-Year Blood War is action packed. It is. Yeah. They do minimal recap for like the on the last episode at the start of the next episode.
Sure.
And then they're straight into it, and they do that recap often by holding on a moment that was difficult in the previous one. So something happened.
Yeah.
And so they kind of like almost continue that moment to remind you, oh yeah, you were here in this scene. It's a little bit of recap, but it's very little time is spent going over stuff they've already gone over, because there is too much stuff that's new to go over.
So you're saying it's action-packed. Is it action-packed with still leaving you wanting, or is it action-packed like, no, it's keeping pace?
Okay. So, yeah, it's keeping pace in the sense that whenever there is a bit of combat, it's, you are in it. There's still a bit of the Shonen Jump posing and, held moments, but it's actually for a purpose. Unlike in a lot of these shows, it seems like be there to fill time. All of the moments they hold on in this show, Kubo has got them holding on them for the moment. It is to actually feel whatever emotion he's giving them. So you actually get these rather surprisingly well-paced fights. They don't last too long, and they don't overstay their welcome, but you can see it all going on, and you have to jump between multiple points in the story, in the locations. So there's a lot to cover. Still,
I also have a question, if you don't mind.
Okay. Yeah, go.
So you said that like the heroes try to do something, and then the villains are like, yes, we anticipated that. Is it a case of, does that feel natural, or does that feel like they're just written like to anticipate? Like you get what I'm saying?
No. So, okay, you might know just from a vague knowledge of Bleach that captains and powerful characters have a Bankai. It's a second release of their power. The enemy's plan appeared to be at the start to steal this Bankai. Right? So they had this device that when the captains used their Bankai, they could literally steal it from them and use it against them. As if it was theirs.
Right.
So this was a thing. And so you see our heroes, the ones that the science types, go into a process of trying to make sure that the captains can retrieve it and start fighting back. But the moment they do, it's like, well, you took back the Bankai. Okay, that just means we get to use our own powers now because we couldn't while we had your Bankai. And their own powers but are then substantially more.
Why would they take the Bankai in the first place then?
Because the plan was to kill the different captains with their own Bankai to show that it didn't matter. Show that their own power was useless.
That just feels like they're needlessly complicating it. To me.
It kind of does. But at the same time, it's genuinely a plot point because it highlights why Ichigo is needed. Because it's playing into this whole thing that he doesn't actually have a Bankai.
That just feels like it's convoluting it into a reason to have Ichigo. But if that's the only bad point, then that's fine. Well, exactly. Bad, quote unquote, bad point.
Yeah. So
right.
Let's move on. I've gone quite over on this one.
Cool. Okay, so I'm going to jump straight into Synduality Noir, which
only updated today, didn't it?
It was either today or yesterday, like the 6th episode. So, which is again one of the reasons why we have delayed recording so close to the release. But the I don't know how to rate this, right? I don't know. No, genuinely, I don't know. I don't know if this is a 5-star nothing special or like a 1 or 2-star acquired taste.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
I kind of, you know what? I'm gonna give this a 2-star
the difference. Give it a 0.
Taste.
Okay.
I'm gonna give this a 2-star as acquired taste, right? I am enjoying this, but it is very slice of lifey. But the life is very fanciful. It's like, you've got these dome cities where everyone it's like it feels like you have your standard stereotypical Facebook game and they're putting a plot to it. The plot is okay. The fact that a character actually comes back that, you thought was Team Rocket blasting off again at the end of the 2nd or 3rd episode, it was actually quite nice that they came back for this 6th episode. So it makes them not feel as throwaway of a character as
I had a feeling they might. Yeah, same thing with the woman that they meet, who in episode 4, who comes back in 5. But I'm sure she'll be back again too. Is the thing?
Yeah, yeah. So there's plenty going. Actually, I think it was the bad guys from 2 comes back in 6. But regardless, it doesn't matter, right? It's a really
this guy on screen right now. That's the bad guy you're talking about.
It's a really good. Yeah, it's a really healthy way of telling the story, but they're certainly not jumping to achieve anything, right? There's no overarching plot. Mm-hmm. It's really well animated, especially the mech combat.
You say there's no overarching plot, but there actually is. It's the guy they met in episode 3? Yeah, where they were going to the Pleasure City. He's trying to find paradise, and he needs type zeros, and Noir is a type 0. And Noir is probably the one he's specifically looking for.
But nothing comes of that because he comes back.
Not yet! 6. Oh, does he? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he comes back in episode 6, and still nothing comes of it, right? So it's like, but it still has a lot of potential, right? As I said, the mech combat's really well animated. The mech designs
everything's actually really well animated. I was surprised.
So, I think the only lackluster part of this is just how if I may fill in a little bit. Life, I feel like there's not a lot of world building going on. It's just focused on these characters and their goal of getting him to be a good coffin pilot. Yeah, actually, I agree with this. That there's a lot of world teasing, right? But there's no real explanation of what the enemy threat is, right?
Mm-hmm. It just kind of feels like a video game conceit that if you play video games, you'll be fine with this. No.
Yeah. And it just feels like I'd love to know, how did the world get to this point? Is this some kind of adaptation of Earth? I don't think it is. I think it's just a parallel incarnation of Earth or whatever, right? How do they build the dome cities? They travel along these roads. It kind of feels very, oh shit, what's the name? Death Stranding? Is that the?
I've actually never played that, but sure.
No, but but they're building roads and shit like. Yeah. So it's really well animated. It looks like it's got shit tons of potential, but it just glides listfully to the left.
Yeah.
So I like it. But
like this Dutch angle.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll hand over to you, Nasuth.
Right, let's do the gene of AI. Let's get it out of the way.
The poop. Big old poop.
So
excellent.
So Xeno and I kind of disagreed on this for a while. I thought there were once it switches over, I thought there were some interesting ideas there that were just not being utilized fully. And then episode 5 came along, and I figured out exactly what they were doing. And that took it from an acquired or nothing special 4-star. So already kind of, below my usual standards. The way.
I'm really hoping he goes for poop 0. I really hope he's going for poop 0.
It's not a 0 poop. It is a 4-star pass.
Come on.
It's still technically watchable. But once I figured out what was going on, I lost all the intrigue. So essentially, this is like reading an anthology book full of short stories. If you've ever read one of those, they're usually like maybe 50 pages a piece, if that. They're these little tiny snippets of what could be a good idea, but it's not given any room to really develop. And I'm okay with that as a concept. But I kept watching this, trying to figure out what is the common thread that pulls all these together, and I finally figured it out. Mm-hmm. It's asking if we humans are basically the same as the humanoids, Are we just biological machines? Is the mind the slave to the brain? And is the brain's starting structure based on predetermined...
Is the mind...
The brain a slave to the brain?
To the brain.
Yes.
As in our ability to think?
Yes.
Slaves to the actual brain itself and its physical
So
presence.
the mind is an emergent property of the brain, the physical structure of the brain.
So we're talking about our consciousness, our being and everything.
Yes.
Being limited to its own hardware.
And is that based on a predetermined genetic code? Is anyone capable? Same thing with the body, with the whole body too. You saw that one episode with the kid who was like, "I want to be a better runner," but Michi has said that I can only have these limitations. So is anyone truly capable of breaking that gene? Are these limitations built in? Is it okay to find illegal ways around it? And if you do, were you always going to do it in the first place? It's asking those kinds of questions poorly.
So deterministic versus free thought.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've got that idea in there, but because of the nature of the way they tell the stories, being short snippets, not fully fleshed out, etc., it's just like, no, you're doing this all wrong. And so as soon as I figured that out, as soon as I figured out what they wanted to do, I just lost all interest. I don't care anymore. Somebody who's never run into these concepts, this might be a good primer. But for anyone who has seriously ever put any thought into it at all, it's like this is baby time. You're not go.
But it feels like someone. I hate to be so mean and cruel, but it feels like the author was high at the time when they came up with this concept, turned around and said, what if we're confined by the limitations of our own biology?
Yeah, it's like people have thought about this question for a while.
And
then the person to the right of them just goes what the fuck are you on? Right.
No, the only way this would get made is if the other person was just as high and said,
"Oh my god, you're a genius!
That's so deep."
Isn't this Madhouse?
This is Madhouse. This is fucking Madhouse.
So that does actually seem like the kind of thing they would do. They will do just about anything as long as it presents like an interesting idea or a challenging.
But it's so badly animated.
Yeah.
It is so bad. I genuinely feel that whoever came up with this... I'm sorry I'm shitting on people's work. I'm glad you have jobs. I genuinely am. Right, and I hope that this isn't a blemish on your career in any way, shape, or form. Right? But it feels like whoever signed this off, handed it on to a director or whatever, the director went, "What the fuck?" And then just lowballed the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Literally all the stories tie back into that theme, and that theme needs to be explored better.
It's like, if it was a case of you had these humanoids, 100%, the theme needs to be explored better, and it needs to be explored with the duality of biology and electronics, right? But one
of the points is that humans are just biological machines, which is why the humanoids are indistinguishable, right? We made them, but they are still essentially the same thing.
But it's worse. It's worse because not only do you have that, right? You also have androids, right? So you have humans, humanoids, and androids.
But even the androids kind of tie back into the theme. Because of if you overwrite them,
was so much better.
If you overwrite them, do they change? Yeah.
I fucking. They needed to fucking investigate the science behind this so much more.
Yeah.
And it was just the only reason why the athlete could run faster as a humanoid was because he thought he could run faster. Or, I don't know, maybe the dipshit with the stopwatch didn't start it the 10th of a second as early as he should have. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
So, baby's first philosophical discussion, the anime.
Basically,
so
yeah.
I think, yeah.
Go watch Paranoia Agent instead.
We've given this far more time than it actually deserves.
Well, at least we actually got to have a proper discussion this time instead of a shouting match between me and Nasuth.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Go on, Thaylien.
I am going to bring up the classic one. Now, Reborn as a vending machine. Now I wander the dungeon.
Oh dear.
And now, I gave this I think it was a middle of the road, nothing special last time, didn't I?
I don't know.
Never know.
I actually write all this stuff down.
Go back and recheck these because anyway, so they've introduced a few more characters now and a little bit of danger. So it's still nothing special, but it's gone up to a 4-star.
Fair enough.
So the theme of this is still the same, which is he is a vending machine that can change into other vending machines, and he has to power his life through acquiring money, basically, which gets turned into points. Points mean he can restock himself, he can change his stock, and he can, again, change the type of vending machine he is. And a lot of these situations seem to be contriving to show off that this guy just really likes vending machines. So, in a situation where a building is collapsing on top of them, he can use his points to generate his blessing shield, and he thinks it's going to run out. But the person he's protecting with him finds some treasure and feeds him money before he before he dies. But then she starts to pass out, and he realizes that his shield isn't letting fresh air in. And of course, they're buried under rubble, so there's no fresh air to let in. So, believe it or not, in Japan, when the smog was getting really bad, they had oxygen vending machines. They really did. Which is basically you put a coin in and you get a mask that you could breathe some fresh air. So he turns into one of those.
Oh my god.
And saves her life. And I'm like, it's so twee. But at the same time, they're taking it so fucking isekai seriously.
Wait, hold on, hold on.
I think Xeno has issues.
No, wait, hold on, right? I stopped, I think it was either episode 2 or episode 3, right?
Yes.
It was the whole horse shit to do with convincing the villagers / guards / warriors / adventurers / fuck knows to put Mentos in cola, right?
Yes, that was bad.
Now,
I know.
No, it took them a while to work out the application of putting these, Mentos in the cola. How did he teach the girl to use the oxygen mask? If it's something as simple as, there's actually a trigger, fine, right? I don't know what this thing looks like.
Okay, it was how the oxygen mask they put over a patient's face when they're in the hospital?
Yeah.
The little clear mask that's quite clearly shaped into the nose and mouth.
Yeah.
It's basically one of those on a lead that he dropped off his machine body.
Right.
That top left one, Nasuth. Nasuth is checking out the... Yep. So it's just a grey box, very simple. You open it up, there's an oxygen mask in there on a hose. So he dropped it out of his body, and it hissed air towards her.
Right. Okay. And that's fine.
So the person he's actually saving is a genius who was working out all the limitations of him as a thing.
Okay, that's fine still. Yeah. That's better still, right? Yeah. I'm fine with that then.
This is the person that Lamis, the girl that found him with the super strength.
Yeah.
She, like her friend Hulami, is a person that studies magical tech. And these whatever these are. And so he gets kidnapped, and they take him to a place where they've also kidnapped Hulumi, in the hope that she can get the money out of him.
Oh my gosh.
Fucking god. Okay.
So
genius.
So they kidnap a genius to steal from the box. And of course, she just spends her time working out, well, oh yeah, you really are a person in there.
Right.
Aren't you? You know, and what can you do? Well, all of these different things. Like, he repays the favor by, when she's looking really haggard, he transforms into the different vending machines to allow her to get some fresh clothes and some shampoo and stuff from the old public baths vending machines, and some heated water from his hot water vending thing, to have a quick shower and wash her hair. You know, little life things to show you that he's a nice person. And yeah, it's kind of cute. And we get more of this thing, and we finish off on episode 6 at the moment, where all of the shops in the area are having a problem with a incoming chain restaurant, literally called Chains. And so, in order to try and keep the business for themselves and keep surviving and feeding their families, they turn to him because he has all these different things. And so he basically vends out instant meals to do with what they can cook, and so gives them ideas for new flavors and things. So they're able to chase off this chain restaurant by serving much, much better food.
Right.
There's a fantasy world. They don't have the same. They have really mild flavorings.
Oh yeah.
And of course, vending machine food is really, really heavily flavored. So
really salty.
It's branching out and trying to give them more things. And there was a really cute character interaction where, you know, the guards that they meet first off.
Yeah.
Those guards are still buying stuff from him, but there's this girl that keeps coming out and hanging out in front of him when these guards are about to show up.
Right.
And it turns out that she really likes the bald guard.
Right.
Actually, she's like wearing his favorite color and things to try and get him to notice her. So, of course, Boxo realizes that this guy always goes for like the oden and things, the stewed stuff. And so he changes form and vends out all the ingredients to make some oden for this girl.
Oh my god.
And then the next thing you know, this guy's bragging, oh, she keeps cooking me really nice stuff. Having a girlfriend's so nice.
Wow.
and he realizes, oh shit, he's a normie. And so vends out a really superheated can of oden, so he burns himself on it for a bit of revenge. You know?
I've got to say, you kind of sold me. I think I'm going to pick this back up.
Yeah. Sounds like Xena's.
Oh no, it's still nothing special. You might not, but
I've been struggling.
It has a bit of charm. It's not horrible.
Right. Should we move on?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to go to Zom 100, Bucket List of the Dead. And I am pseudo struggling with this a bit because of the interruptions, right?
It's an uncle from another world situation sort of thing.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know what I gave it last time, but I think I want to give it a 2-star must watch. Right? I still think this is hilarious, and I think pretty much anyone can get into it. The problem is that episode 5 was delayed by a week, and episode 6 is going to be delayed by another week. Now, I'm not quite sure why 5 was delayed, but 6 is delayed because of prior commitments on the channel. Like they got some special sport event going on, and it's got a conflicting time. But
I'm guessing this would have happened anyway.
Yes, this one would have happened anyway.
Twice.
But the earlier one,
yeah. So, like, it's interesting, but it's a question of like where you're going with. Like, I like this a lot because it's not really predictable, right? It's really interesting to see, like, they're kind of having a bit of a slice of life adventure during the zombie apocalypse, which kind of feels like this shouldn't be a thing, but it kind of leads to what are you actually achieving? Now, I know this was actually written by the same person that did Alice in Borderland, and I will say, thus far, leagues better than Alice in Borderland, right? The problem with Alice in Borderland, it was the thrill, the mystery, and everything was too, I don't want to say suspenseful. It was too reliant on it. Whereas this is basically gone, fuck the mystery, zombies. That's it. The end. Who cares where the zombies come from? It's not going to get rid of them. Fucking zombies everywhere, right? So I very much do enjoy this, and I was revitalized in the last episode, in episode 5. Like, yeah, I am actually genuinely enjoying this. There is dumb stuff in this, but
so it still is at episode 5.
Yes, it's only had its episode 5 though.
Okay,
right?
but some of our other shows haven't made it to episode 6 yet, right? So it's not.
Yes.
Too
this is one of the ones
behind.
this is one of the ones, but it's gonna be when everything else is on episode 8. This is only sticking to 6.
6.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's suddenly becoming 2 episodes behind. And this is a bit of a problem. And like the last thing I want to have happen is, and this is why I'm overly cautious about it, I don't want to hit the end of the season and then like, oh yeah, last episode, 3 months time. You know,
Ugh.
I still haven't watched the last episode of Uncle from Another World, and I fucking loved Uncle from Another World.
Yeah.
Right. But the interruption in schedule and things really fucks with it. So I'm enjoying this. It's exceptionally well animated. They did a fantastic job. And one thing, we were talking about like recaps in Bleach and things. Every episode of this recaps the events of the last episode in the intro of the current episode, right? So a section of the intro actually replays events of the previous episode. And I think that's fantastic. Nice. That's a fucking brilliant idea, right? It's a dumb little thing, but it really enriches it.
Well, it's like season 1 of Mushoku Tensei, where every episode's opening was part of the show. We'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that later.
Yep. Right. Unless you guys have any questions.
No, I'm good.
I don't think so.
I like the sound of this, but I haven't had time to actually watch it yet.
I'm going to be honest, right? If you haven't started it, maybe wait until it all comes out first, right? You know, I don't like to be a Debbie Downer on this, because it is a genuinely good show, but you know, it's like Nier Automata. I'm glad that I didn't.
I still haven't finished that one either. Oh
no, but the thing is, like, I'll rewatch the whole thing from scratch.
Yeah.
Not having this horrible. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Next.
Right. Let's do. What did I queue up? It was Bastard. Yeah. Let's do Bastard, which dropped its entire season all at once, and it was. So
wow, way to go, Netflix.
Can you feel that?
So I don't remember what I gave the first season. It was I know I really enjoyed it. It was probably somewhere in a must watch. This is only an acquired taste 3-star. It could have been higher. It could have been a must watch 0 1-star, but it's 15 episodes long, right? And it ends on a cliffhanger. So which makes me think there's supposed to be another core coming, or something, you know, another 15 episodes, whatever. But there's been no announcement, so it just stops. It just ends in a really, really unsatisfying place. But it is still really good. It still has a similar energy to the first season, except that now Schneider has been reined in a lot more. It's like he's kind of merging with Lucien more than just overriding Lucien. And so he's become more of an Inuyasha character, where he will do anything for the approval of Yoko. Anything. The character designs still feel ripped right out of the late 80s, but with like, you know, or early 90s, but with a much more smooth, modern digital HD sort of thing.
Unlike the new upcoming Gundam Seed fucking movie.
Yeah.
I'm not. Anyway.
If the first
we can listen to today on today as recording on Kanpai News if you haven't already.
Yeah. If the first season was more kind of about the current state of the world, this one seems to be more about how it links back to the world before Anthrasax, and the fact that in the first Cataclysm, and how its shadow stretches all the way to the present. Like, they actually go back and explain exactly what happened in the first Cataclysm, where Anthrasax and the other Demon Gods came from. All of that gets explained.
Okay, that's quite interesting.
New
sword waifu.
No. She's from the first season.
Yes, but I only got to about episode 6 the first season. I didn't actually get time to watch the rest of it.
Anyway, keep going.
There's also, like, it again kind of hits that Inuyasha vibe, where we keep seeing scenes of Schneider and a lot of these other characters in a much more modern setting, and part of me wonders if, like, these people have been reincarnated. They haven't explained any of that yet, but that's my guess, is that these, along with Schneider, all these other people have been reincarnated in some way. Oh gosh. I'll pick it up 2 years after the first season, but all of that is kind of like explained and set up and everything. I don't really want to give away the plot, though, so that's
then don't.
That's really honestly all I have to say about it as much as as a show. I do think the villain is interesting and well written, and his motivations make sense. I kind of like the way that...
That's always important.
He's not dead. Don't worry, he's not dead.
Ooh.
Other people die. Other people definitely die. But not him. No, he's one of the bad guys who has powers.
Yeah, Yeeture, he's fine.
He's fine.
Okay.
This guy's about to get fucked, though.
Oh, promise.
Not literally.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it, like, I gotta say, so I've had problems with the first season.
I know.
I think like Thaylien, I got bored. Episode 6, because it became
just
very.
Straits. I didn't get bored.
Well, okay, I got bored. Because it became very one note, just like Jahi just constantly banging the same drum, or in Dark Schneider's case, banging as many women as he could.
Yeah, this season's much less like that. Much less.
I feel that's the problem.
He's much more of a tool that's being used by the other people as they try to achieve their goal. I mean, he is still the most powerful tool in their arsenal, but it's much more about all of them working together.
But I always felt that with Dark Schneider, again, only after watching 6 episodes, he was just... he was a pawn in a game of chess with no proper expansion, right? No, not just goal, but like so he was there was nothing more to him apart from and then Dark Schneider turned up and won, right?
No. That happens a lot less. I mean, it does still happen a little bit. Like his first introduction in it's like when the season starts, they can't summon him for some reason, and so they're having to do everything themselves. Right at their darkest moment, he does show up and save the day. But from that point on, it's like, okay, we're just going to use you to do some of these other minor tasks while we focus on maneuvering and stuff,
I mean, the fact that it ends on a cliffhanger screams to me that it's getting another season.
Yeah, I hope so, but I haven't seen anything anywhere.
Well, I mean, that's the sort of thing that happens, because, like, there's plenty of stuff that ends on a cliffhanger, and then it's just like, and then there was a season 2. But, I mean, I know that Netflix's stuff is particularly bad for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know if this is actually, it's just, licensed by Netflix, or it's actually paid for by Netflix. I'm hoping it's the former, right? Because JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean was always going to happen regardless of Netflix's involvement.
Yeah.
Right? So I hope that this happens if Netflix doesn't even put any money towards it. But anyway.
I was going to look something up too real fast. Hang on just 1 second.
Also, he claims.
Opening.
He says real fast.
I can't remember how long the opening is. They don't really do much in the way of recap. Yes, 4 minutes. So they don't really do much in the way of recapping, but every episode has a 4-minute. Wait, is that actually? No, wait, that's actually the full song.
That's the full song.
Good
job,
Nasuth. Yeah, good job, Nasuth.
Good job, Nasuth. Good fucking job, Nasuth.
But it is a significant amount. Does that say 1 minute 43? I guess that's not terrible.
It's only like 10 or 13 seconds longer than normal.
It feels a lot longer, but it is an actual kicking song, so I don't mind it too much.
Okay.
Anyway.
Fair enough.
Right, shall we now move on?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thaylien.
Is it me again?
Uh-huh.
I'm going to bring up the girl I like forgot her glasses.
Mm-hmm.
So, this one, I think Xeno dropped. Did you get bored of it?
Yeah. Well,
enough.
I mean, like, I just didn't bother chasing the third episode, and I just didn't know whether or not I was going anywhere.
Okay. It kind of is, kind of isn't. Okay. They're progressing time. So, in the last few episodes, they have progressed on to the next year of their school life. So there's a little bit of drama that they greatly over-exaggerated, as usual, when they ended up in the same class, but they started getting assigned seats, and somebody different sat next to him, and they put our girl down the very front of the class. And you got an introduction to another character briefly, but I think some of the fun of this is now that everybody knows. Everybody knows what's going on and can see it happening, and the only people that don't understand that everybody knows are these two. So you get moments like the guy that he's always jealous of is, he keeps doing stuff for her, but giving him like a nudge, like, you could do something here. Go on. And the girl that sits next to him at the start of the new year goes, "Oh, I can't take this." Picks everything up and goes down the front of the class, says, "Hi, I've got really weak eyes. Could you swap with me? I can't see the board otherwise." And so she gets to go all the way back to sit next to him again, and everybody else just kind of goes, "Yep." So it's the same similar jokes, but not too much. It's enough over-exaggeration of ordinary events to make it funny, to make it charming. And as we've noticed, the animation's fun.
So what rating would you give this?
I'm still going to give this an acquired taste, and I'm still going to give it only about a 2-star. You have to be in the mood to watch these kind of comedies, romance, slice of life.
So my question to you, right? Because I wanted to properly understand that, and the popping mic was distracting me too much. But we acknowledged it, we fixed it, it's fine, right? But
yes.
the question I have though is with Shazbot. You said that one character moved from the back to the front. Was that?
Yes. She knew, she could see that this girl was constantly turning around to look back at her friend.
Oh, okay.
And so switched seats with her so she could be next to her friend.
Oh.
It's in that way of, and there was even that little acknowledgement from our girl, which set our boy's heart aflutter. Was also, it would have been really upsetting to the teacher if I kept turning to look back at you. And of course, he ran his whole brain ran with that. I mean, the whole thing has these little cute interactions. Like in this scene, she can't see very well, so she thinks that in the stew they've got the chicken looks like potatoes and the potatoes look like chicken. And so one guy's been getting
episode 2.
Yes, it was, and it's little things like that where they play these same things. Sometimes it's more like a 4-comma where you just get these little quick scenes in before the intro kicks in, and sometimes they're longer ones. They had a whole out of dialogue interaction where she wants to mail off a prize, but the only postbox they can think of is at the main post office. And of course she hasn't got her glasses, so he'd have to walk her there. Then all his friends invite him out to go to the arcade, and she starts acting really like, no, I wore contacts today, I can see. I didn't forget my glasses, I wore contacts. You should go hang out with your friends. And he's like, he's not getting that. It doesn't quite get that. But then at the last minute he remembers, no, actually there's a corner shop only about 200 yards down the road that has a little post box in it.
Right.
So yeah, and then so he's able to walk her there, drop it off, and go to the arcade with his friends as well. But he has that little moment of, hang on, she lives really close to the school. She could have just walked back home and then gone to the same post box. I didn't have to walk her. But I had fun anyway. It's this kind of thing of he's realizing a little bit that she wants to spend time with him as much as he wants to spend time with her. So it is progressing.
So I know that in the 3rd episode it was introducing another character, like at the very start, but I didn't have the opportunity to watch it, and thus I just haven't caught up. Does the character cast of this series grow at all?
It's starting to. It looks like it doesn't intend to grow very much.
Right.
It doesn't seem like you get a lot of named characters, but you get a lot of returning background characters that she interacts with. They interact with. So her friends that actually look out for her at school and help her around when she can't see.
Right.
And, things like that. I don't think there's going to be too much. But she seems to do it a lot. I mean, there's a whole section devoted to him choosing some new glasses for her, but unfortunately he finds her cute wearing anything. And says that. So I'm sorry, I'm a really bad judge for this because you always look cute. So she picks the same style as usual, but then she goes home, accidentally falls asleep and breaks them when she sleeps.
Oh my god!
No.
I mean, it's like, right, okay.
I just I don't think anyone can be that accident prone with their glasses. It's just
no.
I mean, I've been pretty accident prone with my glasses in the past. But that's why, like, these days, I get glasses that have, bendy frames, so I can't break them or anything.
But no, as people who have short-sightedness myself and Nasuth, to quite a substantial degree, we would not even get up in the morning and walk anywhere if we didn't have glasses or contacts in.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't happen. We would not be able to see, so we wouldn't do it.
Yeah. So how the fuck did she leave her bedroom? I could only assume that it's just like, oh no, I just remember where the door is.
Going around my house isn't a problem, but going outside, I usually have my glasses because
No, so I can navigate in almost complete darkness in my place.
Yeah,
but it's
familiar. It's just familiar.
I think they actually acknowledge this, saying when they change the seats around, he worries. Hang on. If she's in the different seat, I hope she's not too different because she'll have to remember where it is because she can't see where it is.
Yeah.
So anyway,
right.
I've wasted way too much time on this one.
Okay.
We've been doing that for all of these so far, so.
Moving on. Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2.
Ooh.
I don't know.
What did I give it?
You kind of got to... I was so convinced that this, the whole scene with the beach and then everything else that followed was going to be some kind of trap where it didn't actually happen and they tricked the bad guys into thinking it did.
So,
but
I think the biggest problem with Jujutsu Kaisen is just like fucking everything else, it's taken a week break, which means we didn't get episode 6.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And a large part of the problem is that
we're dealing with a flashback for the entire basically the first 5 episodes.
Well, no, the problem is...
I think that's actually a strength in this case, because our boy we just saw here next to Gojo has been set up. We didn't know him before.
Yes.
Now we know him really well.
It's really built the characters.
Yeah, it clicked for me at episode 5. It's not about if they survive. It's about what surviving looks like and what they've have to deal with now. And
a large part of the problem is that effectively it's now just a blank new canvas. It's just like, the rest of season 2 is, well, we don't know what it is.
This could have been a movie or an OVA or something that sets up.
Well, no, I think it's fine. I think it's absolutely fine as is, right? The only problem is I can't, in good faith, give this a rating because I don't know what the fucking rest of it's like.
That's the thing. For what we've got up to episode 5, I'm actually reasonably convinced it's quite good because I am predicting that they've spent all this time setting up these characters, in terms of the flashback. So we now know more about Gojo, we now know more about the others, but we especially know about this guy that we hadn't met before. And as the show went on, we kind of went, wait, we don't remember you from the main story. What the fuck are you?
And more about this whole idea of
we've
divine blessings being able to get rid of curse energy, and can we do that for everyone? And yeah.
And now we've got the motivation for a villain that knows not only how the Jujutsu High works, but also how Gojo works. Somebody who was close to them.
Wait, have either of you seen?
I haven't seen Jujutsu Kaisen 0. No.
Okay. So I think part of the events of Jujutsu Kaisen 0 would radically change your perception of this series, right? Because it's spoiler territory if you want me to talk about it. Do you want to hold off, or do you want to?
I just hold off. I'm going to go watch that now. The moment you said that, I thought, okay, yeah, all right, let's go watch that.
So, the perception of not only season 2 but season 1 changes based on Jujutsu Kaisen 0. I'm glad, in a sense. I know I still haven't given this a rating. Give me a second.
That's fine. I know.
I'm glad that this is actually going to be taking us back to present day with I think his name Itadori, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really happy with regards to that, if that is the case, because I kind of expected that with the start of season 2. It could just be flashback, because it turns out that these events are just basically Gojo recalling what's happened in the past. And again, it really highlights the value of side characters as well as the main characters. So I think I'm prepared to give this a 4-star acquired taste.
Wow.
Okay then, because of course you have to have watched the first series, and until we get the rest
movie
of this
and the movie, that's the important thing. Again. But I'm really on the edge of this because I don't want to just go, you should just go watch it, only because I just don't know where the rest of it's going, right? And that's the I would be able to formulate any form of hypothesis if the 6th episode was fucking out, which is not.
Yes.
So.
Correct.
But it's still wonderfully animated and everything, so that's it. Unless you guys have anything you want to add or ask.
I need to go back and watch the first season and the movie, I think.
Yeah. Right.
I need to watch that movie.
Let's move on to Malevolent Spirits Mononogatari. So this is actually part 2 of the season. They're calling it season 2, but it's not season 2. It's part 2. You know how they do. So I am actually giving this a 0-star must watch. This is really good.
Okay.
The fact, why odd?
Well, typically, I consider the star system to be like, the various different points of quality in things, right?
Yes.
So it's
a must watch, but it's not like a super spectacular must watch. It's just, it's good. It's solid. It's not.
It's enough to make it a must watch over an acquired taste, but not any further than that.
So
to me the stars are like an increment of like how, so like a must watch 2-star is really good, but it's only 2 stars within the must watch category. You still should watch it, but it's not as good as something like I'm struggling to think of like Ghost in the Shell. Ghost in the Shell would be a must watch 3 or 4 star or something. It's quintessential. No, you should watch it even if you're not a cyberpunk fan.
I get that, but to me it feels like, what's the difference between you're saying that no matter what, people should watch this.
Yes.
Right? But there's nothing particularly amazeballs about it. Right? No one element, not even the animation, not the voice acting, not the plot. Right? But you should watch this.
See, that's
is that a fair assessment?
No,
because
I think you're seeing the system a little bit differently.
Yeah, if the plot was just run of the mill, it would be an acquired taste or nothing special to me. The plot is still elevated above other shows. It's just not as elevated as something else.
I'm not denying that, right?
What I'm saying is
that no one part of this excels ahead of anything else.
In the must-watch category.
In the must-watch category. Yes.
That might be fair. That might be fair. But although I would say that all of the parts together come together to be really something really interesting. Like the fact that it has slice of life elements, the fact that it has shonen element or seinen elements. The fact that these characters are showing their growth in a natural fashion, all of these elements individually would make for a good show, a decent show.
Acquired taste.
But putting them together makes it a must-watch. And the way it puts them together, it's...
No, I get it. I just find it, I find it very interesting that if you were to be given, like, anything that we've thus far given a must-watch, you would turn around and say, like, you should watch that other thing over this.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, I'm really enjoying this so far. Which is why it's a must-watch. But if you had to choose between like this and I don't know if I have any other must-watches. I bet I do. This or Mushoku Tensei. I would say Mushoku Tensei if you had to. But it's still really good.
I get that.
So there's like I said, there's still growth happening, but it's like in realistic steps. Like they just recently, Hyoma here kind of has reached the point where he now understands the difference between good Mononogatari and bad. The spirits.
Whatever. Yeah.
He's now understands that there are good ones as well as bad ones. They're not all evil. But when the paper umbrella shows up again, so the paper umbrella is like it killed his brother and sister. It set him down this path of hating all. Yes. When it shows up again, he realizes that fighting it, his emotions still overwhelm him. He's focused on revenge and just focusing all his anger rather than keeping a cool head, thinking about how the strategy involved, that sort of thing. And so when it shows up, he ends up losing, but he's saved by the oh god, what are they called? The Bureau of Traditional Music, which are these other three cursed spirits who are really fun. And so he realizes that he's going to have to do something about that. He realizes that, you know, he's hit a pinnacle, he's hit a plateau, and the only way to get around that is to re-strengthen.
To not scream Griffith and swing his sword at it.
Yes. to sort of, he's been using his brother and sister's door pulls, which are the weapons he uses, the little round circle things, because it's his way of being like, I'm keeping them with me, I'm hanging on to them. And he's starting to realize that he's going to have to let go and focus on re-strengthening his own bond with the Sinokami, which is a concept that they've actually expanded on in this half of the season, which I'm really happy about. They've actually started doing a lot more world building. Like there's the Sinokami, what the door pulls are, the ruling houses of the area. All of this has all been expanded on. Quality and writing has never dipped. All the actions seem to flow naturally in the narrative. There's room to breathe, which is one thing we've loved about Mushoku Tensei, right? An action happens, and then the characters deal with that with what's happened about that, and it moves them on to the next logical point in the story. Yeah, it's really interesting. Episode 6 ended on kind of a cliffhanger, and fuck them for that. But also, like, that's a good, like, it's in a good way. It's a cliffhanger of, oh god, I need to see more now. They're developing this whole thing with the umbrellas or the paper umbrella and the thing that's inside of Botan. Yeah, it's been. I feel like it's building towards an actual climax. Like it's I'm hoping it's only going to be one season, right? I'm hoping that this is a single self-contained story and they're not going to sequel bait it, because that's what it feels like they're doing, and I'm really happy about that so far.
Okay,
I think I'm going to end up giving this a watch over Vending Machine. Yeah. Well, I'm struggling with this stuff. I really am.
Yeah, I would recommend that myself, because I haven't seen this, but you know, I would be watching it if I had the time.
Okay.
So,
next one.
It's me again. I'm going to go with the silly one of the season. Am I actually the strongest?
Oh.
No.
Saving the best for last, huh?
Yes. So, am I actually the strongest is the single silliest isekai that I've seen in a while. Because it's a NEET who is, he got teased in school, he's just stayed inside, and he must have died somehow, because he just suddenly gets presented with, hi, I'm a goddess, I'm sending you to a new world, you've been selected, I'm going to give you super strong magical powers and overpowered skills, so you can survive there. Here you go. And he starts over from a baby.
Nice.
And the very first thing that happens, though, is that it turns out that the magic readers, everything in this world is based off how much potential magic and actual magic you've got. So the most powerful sage is apparently can get to level 77, and he has to build up to that. The big man with the beard, the beautiful beard over there, is level 32 of 32, and he's really strong. He's known as a famous warrior, and he's born into the royal family. He's the son of the king. And they come to measure his magical power, and it reads 02 out of 02. And oh god, he's useless. And he has no element either, so he's good for nothing.
Oh yes, I remember you explaining this. Oh.
Yeah, so they had this. So they threw him out. What you then get is a little scene with the goddess talking to another goddess, going, "Oh no, they think he's useless. I didn't account for this. The measuring tool they've got only goes 2 digits. How much power did you give him? 1,002.
They don't understand how to deal with buffer overflows.
So he's level 1,002 of 1,002 already as a baby, and he's got no element, which means the only magic he can use is barrier magic, basically. But barrier magic is really versatile if you have that much power. So he's left out in the woods. A giant monster hound tries to come kill him, and he literally uses barriers to pick himself up and fly around while beating this giant hound with trees. Okay, he uses barriers to basically pick up trees and beat this hound to death. And then they said, that wasn't enough to beat it. So he picks up half a mountainside and is about to throw it, and the hound gives in and says, I'm sorry, I give up. Then to talk, he puts a barrier in his throat that converts thoughts to speech so that he can speak. Oh, no. Yeah, it seems really, really... Okay, there are several things that are stupid about this. Okay, this is a silly show. His overarching goal, when he grows up, is to become a NEET again. He wants to live an easy life in his room, just watching anime. Okay, but of course there is no anime in this world. Right? That's what his goal is. But the driving force behind it, unfortunately, is that he's picked up by this guy and has been given a good life and a good family. And so he's guilted into doing things all the time. So he uses barrier magic to cross dimensions and accesses his old streaming accounts from his home dimension so that he can watch some anime in his room. He uses barriers to construct a homunculus of himself, a clone of himself, that he can send out to do stuff. But because he's made it an actual clone of himself, it doesn't want to do anything either. Okay, his little sister in this world is really cautious of him, but then likes him when he saves her from a bunch of monsters. She realizes he's a hero of justice, and to explain what that is, he uses the connection to his old world's anime streaming services to show her a little bit of anime. And she becomes a bit of an otaku herself. She goes off and makes the costumes. And so because he's a hero of justice, she sends him out to go and beat up bandits. And so he becomes the Black Knight, and he looks like a rip-off of Lelouch. And it's silly. They're sending him off to school because he's been given a recommendation because of his barrier magic, and having he meets the young prince and princess, his blood siblings, that don't know that they are. And the prince is an arsehole, challenges him to a duel and gets his ass kicked. But the princess is quite nice and apologizes, and I think she recommends him to this school. And they're sending him off to that as of the 5th episode mark.
Sorry, did you give it a rating?
No,
I did not.
That's
I've got 5 whole minutes on this one, and it's so silly. So this is a 3-star nothing special.
All right, Xeno.
Xeno, you have words.
He's kind of sold me on this. So it's your turn now. Tell me why this is shit.
No, he's done a good job of being a traveling door salesman. Nothing he has said is wrong, right? But the animation isn't the best. The delivery is better conveyed by Thaylien than the actual show itself.
Yeah, it's a little twee.
Yeah, I watched. I think they do well by downsampling the images and things, because you can see that the lines are broken up and things because they're actually hand animating it in smaller images, which means that it kind of improves the animation. There's another one that did this called Megalobox,
where they did
that. It. Megalobox was fantastic. They did the whole animation in 480 and then scaled it up to 1080.
Interesting.
Right? Yeah. And it looks rough, but passable rough. It looks really, really good.
Yeah.
Does it
look more like traditional anime rough in that like is that what they're trying to replicate? Right. They're trying to replicate that feel of traditional old anime.
I think with this, however, they were just animating it at 720 and then scaled it up.
They have cut corners, but at the same time it looks okay-ish.
Yeah, it looks okay, right? But
I love the wolf character. She turns into a human because he's
of course she does
starving as a baby.
But the problem
this is a meme from last time.
part of the problem is the fact that the characters like sort of come and go in the night. It very heavily focuses on the main character, main male protagonist in this shot right here. I love the bond between siblings, but there's one element of this that I cringe every single time I see it. Right, Thaylien, what element do you think it is?
You're talking about the maid.
No, I'm not.
No,
not in the slightest.
Are you not?
It's the knockoff Zero suit. Right?
Yes, it's a Lelouch suit, yes.
It could not fucking look more like Lelouch unless they actually just put yellow on it. I'm not fucking kidding.
But he's a nerd, or he's an otaku, so that kind of makes sense, yeah?
And so
he could have gone with a Power Ranger. He could have gone with a Kamen Rider.
Power Rangers. Well, I guess otaku still would cover Power Rangers, wouldn't it? But he's more of an anime fan than a tokusatsu fan, right?
But no, because he's showing his sister tokusatsu stuff.
Oh,
right?
Yeah,
right,
and magical girl stuff, and things that are safe for her age range. Because she's 5 when she starts watching.
It is just how much of a Lelouch ripoff it is. Right?
It is.
It's just like, you know the classic meme of like, Mom, can we have Code Geass? No, we have Code Geass at home, and it turns out to be this.
Code Geass at home is this.
Right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So
it is so silly. I love it for the fact that it's silly.
Right. Now, Thalien's ratings are accurate. It's nothing special. In all honesty, I may continue with this. I got to episode 3. Sorry, I did watch episode 3 as well. But I was like, do I really have the impetus to keep going? I don't know.
Would you say for
I think
somebody...
episode 5 might give you something.
Keep going.
Would you say for somebody who's... Sorry, which one of us did you want to keep going?
Nasuth, ask your question.
Sorry.
He said, shut up.
If these were so you're giving it nothing special for somebody who's not like an isekai fan or whatever, would you say that this would be better to wait for the whole season and maybe
skip?
If you're not an isekai fan,
skip it.
Skip it. There are way better isekai out there.
But you made it sound so interesting and funny.
Thaylien is an expert salesman, right? But like, fucking vending machine is better than this.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Should we move on?
That's one.
Right. Okay. We're way over on that one. Right. Cat. Masterful Cat. Masterful Cat is a legend.
I'm up with you on this one. I was cautious last time. I'm no longer cautious. Go with your rating.
It's a must-watch. Buster.
Yes.
No.
Must-watch.
It has gone up since Xeno rated it last time.
Where's the must-watch? Press the must-watch.
I hit the must-watch. Why did it not come up? There we go.
Must-watch.
Buster.
Right.
Buster.
It's so good as Cat.
It is.
Right. Like, I think one of the things that I love so much about this is how stupid the world is to perceive
the cat
Yukimichi.
Yukichi.
Yes. Yukichi.
Okay. How stupid the world is, because at one point in time, he's invited to go to see this girl for her birthday party. The pair of them are invited, and it's like, well, how do they get away with him being there and everything? And they get a zipper party. Right, it's a costume party. They get a zipper. They basically hide the zipper in the fur, and they pretend that it's a guy in a suit. Right, That's it. It's just a zipper that's sort of like spirit gummed to his fur, and people think that it's a guy in a suit. Right.
Exactly. There's even the fun little thing where she hang on, just in case, and unzips it and reveals fur underneath. And it's like, it was just in case. Just a thought.
It's a brilliant, charming series.
I love the fact that her mum is absolutely convinced that she's useless, which she is without Yukichi.
Yeah.
And so she sends over food for Yukichi, and then wants pictures to show that she's actually taking care of him.
Yeah.
But of course he's giant, so how do you do it? And so they actually figure out how to use force.
Don't.
No?
Let
Okay.
people see that.
They have to figure out how to use how to do things. It's slightly adorable in that respect.
Yeah.
But they even go with things like when she gets drunk with her boss or with her work colleagues, and she keeps coming home late. And then the one time that she doesn't actually come home, she stops in the park. He runs out to attempt to smack her in the face with a pan.
Yeah.
And then carries her home because he can't quite bring herself to do it.
Yep. There's
but it's
it's extremely slice of life, right?
Yeah.
But I think the fantastical nature of this giant cat going around doing stuff where
more
people
thinner and thinner as it went on.
No. For you, maybe, but
it was just a one joke sort of thing. It's just, and don't get me wrong, I love the joke, but it's just the one joke.
No, but there are plenty of people that actually acknowledge him for being a giant cat, right? And there are people that are just like, that can't be a giant cat. That has to be.
That's not the joke I'm talking about. The joke is that she's useless and he does everything. That's the joke.
She tries to not be useless.
I know she tries to learn how to cook and everything, but it's still just that joke. That's all it is.
The fact that everybody at work.
I still think that for most people this would be like a must watch, probably a 0 or 1 star. But for me, it's not, because it's just that joke. It's just that one joke. And it wore more and more thin. It became more and more slice of lifey and less fantastical as it went on.
We'll have to see how
I don't
it
know
goes.
how it got any more slice of lifey. I think it was always the same amount of slice of lifey.
No, it got more and more. The stretches of time between when there was actually a funny thing happening and when it was just like, yep, here's more slice of life stuff. It got longer and longer and longer between those. No, I gave up on the episode with the aquarium. That was when I gave up.
Not like episode 2.
No, it's like 4 or 5.
Dude, I'm joking.
No.
I'm fucking with.
So
it's episode 4.
Nasuth, if you're going to argue with this one's quite so much, why don't you give us another show?
Well, no, is Xeno done? Are you done, Xeno?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay.
I've tried to get my rating. Everyone kept on talking over me.
No, we heard it. It was a must watch. It was a must watch 4-star.
The point's made. Let's just move on.
Okay, let's do Undead Girl Murder Farce.
Yes, Xeno.
I keep on wanting to say Undead Murder Girl Fart. No.
I think in English it's just Undead Murder Farce, because I don't know why they took out the girl. Because it is about an undead girl.
No. They added the girl for the English.
I don't think that's
because I think the undead thing is gendered in Japanese.
Oh, that might be. Might be. Anyway, so I gave this an acquired taste. The first time I did this, it was acquired taste 5 stars. It's still an acquired taste 5 stars. It has not lost any of its quality. There we go.
Oh my god. Okay.
The world itself is kind of a farce where every fiction is reality. Every fiction. You've got Jekyll and Hyde. I think you've got Jekyll and Hyde. I don't think they've actually quite upset it. You've got Arsene Lupin. You've got the Phantom of the Opera. You've got Phileas Fogg. You've got Frankenstein. Frankenstein's monster.
Back it up a wee bit.
Yeah.
Okay. So episode 1. Was the introduction to these characters, right? Then the next 3 episodes was just one mystery. You've only had 2 extra episodes.
Yeah.
Are you trying to tell me in those 2 episodes it covered all those extra fanciful things?
Yes. So episode 4, 5, and 6. Have I done 6?
No, sure, it's just 5 and 6.
No, it's...
Because remember, 4 was the end of the vampire.
Oh yes, yeah. So the case concludes. Yeah. So at the end of that episode, I can't remember if it's actually the end of that one or the beginning of the next. I think I've written it here at the beginning of the next one. But essentially, they start setting up the next mystery, which is Phileas Fogg has a jewel that could potentially lead the way to werewolves, right?
Mhm.
Now, Arsène Lupin has announced that he will steal this jewel. He and the Phantom of the Opera team up and start going after it. Meanwhile, they've also started doing this, started hinting more at the overarching plot. They started filling in more pieces of that. And that's where I think you've got Adam, which is essentially the name of Frankenstein's monster. And but they're calling him Victor. So it could be Victor Hugo, I don't know. And so he's in this other group with the guy with the cane. There's some other characters there too. I'm not sure who they are, but they're clearly other fantasy archetypes. We've got Sherlock Holmes, because Sherlock Holmes is also hired to protect the diamond, the jewel, along with Aya and our other group. There's a bit of posturing in episode 5 where they're like not Lupin. Holmes and Aya are like kind of sniping at each other, like, "Oh, I'm the best detective. No, I'm the best detective. No, I'm the best detective." And it turns out she's the best detective. I won't tell you exactly why she's the best. I won't tell you exactly why she's the best detective. But again, so in the end of the vampire one, Xeno was wrong. He thought it was going to be. I can't remember who you thought it was going to be. Oh, you thought it was going to be suicide. Xeno was wrong, and all the clues are actually there, but they do the. Well, no. One of the problems with a lot of shows, mystery shows, is that
no, I mean Xeno don't.
Oh well, yeah. But no. One of the problems with a lot of mystery shows is they don't give you all the evidence up front. They hold back a crucial clue, and then it's like, oh, well, now all this makes sense. That's actually not the case in this one. All the clues are there, and the procedural is about eliminating stuff until only the actual solution remains.
Right. Nice.
So I really appreciated that.
Great.
I think that this mystery is also being set up that way, but I don't know what those clues are. I don't know which ones are real clues and which ones are red herrings. I haven't been able to figure that out yet. But I'm really enjoying it so far. I think did I start the timer? Did I give this? I did give this a rating. Xeno started the timer. I think that I love the interplay between the characters. I love how clever they all are in their sarcasm and sniping and whatnot. It is a little weird that every fantasy is real, but it sort of fits in with the whole idea of it being a farce. You know, it's not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
I also think there's a better Lupin versus Holmes than the actual Lupin versus Holmes that we had in the latest Lupin the Third season. I know it's weird to say, but this actually focuses on them, whereas that one strayed off into weird territory.
It's also not a Lupin movie, so it's not. Yeah. So it's not a. There's no chance that there's really the bias that would have had.
Yeah.
It's the Stanley effect. If it's a Squirrel Girl comic, Squirrel Girl wins. You know, that kind of thing.
I like. As I said before, I'm not going to watch this until it's all out.
That's fine.
But like, I just felt frustrated constantly between each week trying to watch this and just wonder what the fuck is even going on. Right? I just like...
The mysteries, you know. You gotta figure it out.
Yeah, but it's just like, it just feels, oh yeah, by the way, we're gonna conclude this in the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. And like, will Goku actually throw the fucking spirit bomb? You better believe he won't, for another 11 episodes next time in Dragon Ball. Yeah, it just feels like...
You can tell how much Xeno feels about this by how much he's peaking his mic.
Yeah.
Am I actually peeking my mic?
Only a little bit.
Oh, okay. But
it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Just very regularly.
But yeah, I mean, it's like, I feel that it has so much potential, but the pacing, it just feels like you need to binge watch the whole thing.
That's fair.
I can get behind that. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Should we move on?
My final one for the day is going to be my favourite. It's going to be Helck.
Whoa.
And
Helck. So good.
I so want to give this a must watch, I really do. But I can see that some people might just see it as an acquired taste. If it's acquired taste, it's going to be a 5-star one.
Is that what you want to do?
Good. I think I'm going to have to go with that for now, until we get to the rest of it. We've just had episode 6, and I love the way they're doing things in this. The show needed to give the two main characters some time to actually...
That's actually what I gave it to. You're good. You're fine.
Excellent. So it needed some time to give the main characters some time to actually, spend time together and get on the same page. And they're doing that. It needed to give, like, Azudra, him, they needed to show why he's respected, and they do. They needed to give the other characters that have been in the tournament arc something to do, and they do. Mm-hmm. And they introduce a bit of the motivation for the whole thing with this. We saw them at the end of the three episodes going off to reclaim the castle. They're reclaiming it from humans.
But not really humans.
Regular humans.
Yeah.
Yes, they are awakened. They are heroes. So they all have angel wings. They all get armor. And depending on the degree of awakening power they have, they
said this in the last. That was 3 episodes.
Yeah, no, we didn't actually have this information quite.
They did, but it was right before. It was literally like right at the end of the episode. We saw the one of them gets her belly sliced open. I think it was at the very, very, very end.
No,
his belly.
Yeah. But that's the third episode. But we didn't have the third episode out when we first did this.
Oh,
we only had 2 episodes.
Right.
So yes, we at the time of recording that we didn't have this information.
We've spoken about it so often.
Yes, we have. So this whole awakened humanity.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, because episode 3, this is all about their trek to the demon castle. See, this is why I take notes.
Exactly.
Anyway,
so depending on how awakened they are, they retain more and more of their power and their personality, and we get this example with episode 6 today, where we're presented with 3 more highly awakened humans who retain their personality and are actually able to use. One of them is magical, one of them is a swordsman, the other is an archer, and they take on the 3 demons that were left behind when Helck and
Vermilions.
Yes. Vermikins, yes, when Helck and Vermilio get teleported away. And so we've got this at the start of the rest of the season where the demons are going to have to fight against humans while Helck and Vermilio return to them and journey across this world. So we get some world building. I mean, we haven't quite got there yet, but I love how it's actually starting it and giving us the time to get to know the characters.
I have a theory about the heroes. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Xeno. I'll say my theory later.
So I think I'm not enjoying this as much as you two are. Right? I would give this 2 or 3 star acquired taste. Right? Definitely better than Nothing Special. I'm still gonna watch it no matter what. Right? The problem I have with it, and I like to feel I'm justified with this, is the fact that there's not nearly enough world building in the first 5 episodes, right? Like, you feel like what is the motivation behind the fact that the humans are being forcefully converted into angels, right? What is
they see what their motivation is. They want to retake the demon realm for themselves.
Yeah.
Right? Why?
Because it's theirs. They want to. It's humans generally tend towards expansionist dominion.
Nasuth.
Okay, Xeno, I can understand you not having this with the first few episodes, but not explaining this. That is a legitimate concern. I'm with you on that, but the story of Helck is bigger than that.
Right. So, and in part, the problem is that is not really explored that much, at least in the first 5 episodes, right? I love the dumb shit where, you know, okay, we put down a map, we're using a scrying spell, where are we? Literally off the fucking map, right? That's great, but it doesn't feel like it has that much gravitas to it because, you know, they haven't spent ages wandering around the island. But it's been like 5 minutes, and like you're told, oh yeah, I've wandered around this entire island while you were having a nap. It would have been nicer.
You're judging it like it's a serious sign-in when it's more of a comedy. It's more of like Slayers meets Excel Saga.
Right. Well, fuck Excel Saga for a start.
Well, fuck you.
No. Right. But here's the big thing, right? What works really, really well with the likes of Konosuba is how much they actually explore the world, they explore the setting. The fact that Axel hasn't been attacked for years because all the starting adventurers have cleaned out the entire area. You see Kazuma and Aqua in the first episode literally building buildings because there's nothing else for them to do. They go out each night, they get shit-faced. Well, they get shit-faced after they get paid. You know, it's great. Helck has so... Wow, that's a really bad screenshot of the animation. Regardless of that, like, it's Helck has so much potential and everything. I love Helck as a character. I love Vermikins as a character. I love all of the actual characters. But the problem is, I don't understand. Like, the only thing I do understand is that so much of the Demon Kingdom is uninhabitable, and they have to have barriers around the actual cities. That's the only thing I understand. Like, you know,
and the human world doesn't have that. Yes. So why would the humans be trying to take back the demon realm?
Exactly. I feel one thing that would actually make this shit tons more interesting, right, is some more motivation from the humans. Even if it's a case of you got a stupid character that's talking bollocks about, you know, we're going to take over the demon kingdom because they have great potatoes, or some stupid shit like this. Like, we have our character, I can't remember his name. Right?
Watch episode 6.
Right. Is
Varlas?
Yeah.
Varlas? I think it's...
Which one?
Varsa, this guy. It's like Varlas or something.
Azura.
Azura. There you go. Right. So what was it, Nasuth? Do you have any other names that begin with the letter V? Sorry.
It's Vermilion.
Right. So looking at Azura, like, he doesn't really do much apart from provide exposition to the motivations of the Demon Kingdom. Right?
Watch episode 6.
Yeah.
Fine, I'll watch fucking episode 6, but I've only seen 5 fucking episodes, right? The point is, I feel like, you know, this is... I just feel like you're just going to turn around and just watch episode 6.
Just watch episode 6.
I feel like I'm going to watch episode 6. I'm going to put out a tweet saying what I thought of it. And like,
we delayed the recording of the episode so that episode 6 of Helck could come out, and you haven't watched it. You watched Synduality Noir instead.
Yeah.
You were reviewing Helck.
Yeah, and all you've done is
I had to prioritize.
I did actually put in my notes that I wouldn't expect.
Hold the fuck on, right? I gave it an acquired taste 2 or 3 stars, right? You fucking sing the praises of fucking Am I the Strongest? Gave it a fucking nothing special 3 stars. How am I pooing on it?
I did actually put in my notes that I wouldn't expect too much world building in the first core for some reason. I just don't expect it. But I'm also, like, I feel like they've hinted enough at it that I'm okay. There's clearly something in the demon realm, because the demons are trying to clean up the mist. There's clearly something that the humans want. We may not know exactly what it is, but enough that we know enough that they want it.
Do we?
I mean,
yes.
Yeah.
They want to take over the Demon Kingdom. That's all we know.
For reasons.
Is it
for whatever reason?
For raisins.
For
raisins. Right? Literal raisins.
You don't always know the motivation of your enemy. This is something that Vermikins and Helck will have to discover together.
Exactly.
Right, but then...
And they're going to discover.
Why do you want everything loaded to you up front?
Okay, right. I get where you're coming from, right? But I'm going to say this, and I think you'll agree with me, right? And you'll be like, what the fuck is this got to do with the price of fish? Harry Potter is boring as fuck, right? Harry Potter is boring as fuck because you only have the perspective.
I disagree.
You only have the fucking.
Yeah.
It only got boring around book 4 or 5.
Oh my god! Out of how many books?
7.
Right,
and which books were the biggest ones? Oh yeah, the last ones. Right?
Yeah, they were boring, but the beginning was fine.
Nasuth,
and this is where we're at. We're at the beginning.
Nasuth, shut the fuck up.
He's going to bite you.
I'm gonna fucking bite you.
Well, he's wrong, so I mean... go ahead. Sorry,
the whole problem with the likes of Harry Potter being so fucking boring is it's just about fucking Harry Potter. Give me anyone else's perspective, right? Anyone, right? In Lord of the Rings, you didn't just have fucking Sam and Frodo and fucking Gollum all the damn time.
Oh, my word. Oh, could you care to rephrase that sentence?
I don't know, what the fuck did I say?
It's all about fucking Harry Potter.
It's always about fucking Harry Potter. Anyway, should we move on?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, let's finish this up.
I'll tell you what, Xeno, though. I'll tell you what, Mushoku Tensei is all about Rudy's perspective. You know, I'm just saying. Just saying.
Ooh, thin ice.
I'm just saying. Walking a fucking.
I'm just saying.
Fine. This is a 0-star pile of shit. You fucking nice.
Stop it.
Right, fucking. Actually, no. It's not just fucking Rudius's perspective because you have the fucking first episode.
Oh, that doesn't count.
Oh, fuck off! It doesn't count. Then it doesn't exist.
Okay. It doesn't exist.
Gentlemen, reset the timer.
Yeah, you fucking whiny
Xeno?
shit turd.
Xeno, take a chill pill.
I'd love to, but he's doing his fucking damnedest to wind me the fuck up.
And Nasuth, later. We can torment him later. Let's get the show finished. For us, it's quite late. I'm sorry, the giant man baby needs his beddy by time.
Fucking
just gonna breathe.
Whiny
just gonna breathe.
Shit that you're a giant fucking... Okay, what are you gonna fucking rate this then, Nasuth? Go on. Fucking go on.
What did I give this? Well, I know I knocked it down a little bit because it uses, as we said earlier, must watch 1 star. Because
1 star?
Because
are you
because it loses points for having a normal opening.
It
for
has a normal intro.
Hold on.
It does.
Hold on. You are taking off stars because they gave it an opening.
A normal opening instead of the really awesome opening that they've been doing up until this point. Also, it's Magic School, and I'm a little worried about the Magic School angle of things.
You are justifying multiple stars on a fucking intro.
Well, I didn't rate the first 2 episodes, so I don't know what it would have been before. I don't know what I rated it last season.
It does show a lack of imagination.
Yeah, it probably would have been a 3 or 4 star. Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ! It lost 3 stars because it has an intro.
It's that and the whole Magic School thing that they're doing now. I'm a little they're lingering a little long on Magic School. I'm a little worried it's going to turn into one of
2 episodes.
I'm a little worried it's going to turn into one of those types of anime.
He spent 3 episodes. He spent multiple years in the North trying to find his mum.
Yes, and immediately that Elena Lee said, "Oh, she's been found off screen." He went to school.
Yeah.
Why?
Actually, no, that's not what happens. I thought the exact same thing for the longest time.
Yeah, there is a delay between those 2 points.
Yeah, because the biggest thing is like his interaction with the man god, right?
Yes.
But stuff is still happening like up north. It's all very here at school. He's just been like, I'm studying so far. The only elevation it's had is Fitz watching him, not know who she is. And
yes, that is absolutely adorable. I'm loving that is so good that Fitz recognizes him immediately. And
Nasuth thinks it's a steaming pile of shit.
Steaming pile of shit. It's a 0-star pat. All
right.
Okay.
What did you actually give it?
Well, I give it a 4-star must watch.
That's fine. That's fair.
Nasuth being his weird, angry self. The animation of
he's being gremlin.
Yeah, he is. He's just angry. Gremlins are always angry because they're hungry. He hasn't had his Snickers.
It's true.
I feel that there's a lot going on in this series. with the psychology of things. I kind of feel that they're glazing over a little bit of stuff.
Yeah.
However, I don't think it is as bad as, let's just have a rip-off Zero character from League of the Rebellion, right? Let's try and convince people how to use Mentos and Coca-Cola as a vending machine, right? There is some dumb fun stuff, and I like the fact that even though, what's her actual name? I want to say Sylphie. Right? Even though Sylphie and Rudius have pseudo reunited, right? I like the fact that Rudius is questioning his own sexual orientation.
Am I gay now?
Because, it's just like, am I gay now?
Okay.
But I'm also happy that even though we've had the prequel episode, which was focusing so heavily on the princess aside from Sylphie, we haven't had that with this, right?
Exactly.
I love the introduction of, this is, I don't want to, I love the introduction of the dwarf character. I'm being very careful of my words.
Yes.
From the latest episode, how that character is introduced, how Rudius actually perceives the whole events and things, how he wants to deal with it, how he sees the reflection in her eyes being similar to how he was in the past, how he wants to help her, regardless of whether or not it's to basically snap her neck or get her out of there. It's a brilliant way of introducing a character. Now, I get where Nasuth is coming from,
and yet it just feeds back into the school life.
I get where Nasuth is coming from in terms of the school and things, but the thing is, they're not spending every waking moment doing something. It's not day in, day out at the school. They are doing time skips, right?
Yes. I'm really liking that we're having...
Oh my fucking god, will you shut
We're having a reuniting of these characters. So we got the character that ran into Thingamy and wants to be a rival to Rudius. He arrives.
Yes.
He's a genius, so he's back. Then the prince, the figurine maniac prince, is back. We're getting these other characters, and we've had these reintroduction. But there's also little subtle things, little almost blink and you'll miss them things, like when Elena meets up with Rudius and kind of almost goes for him, but then finds that pendant he's wearing. Oh, are you close with an elf? He says, well, yeah, kind of. And she pulls out one that matches. Well, it's from obviously
similar,
much better. It's a better quality version. And while his is hand carved, and you went, oh, right. And then backs off.
Yeah.
It's like
he's spoken for.
Yeah. It's like, that's Sylphie. And you realise that's what they were leading for. He's going to reunite with her, because why else would they bring up Sylphie's pendant? You get these little touches that are really quite nice and add a bit of depth.
I think one of the other sides is the fact that as soon as Rudius heard from that genius student that he knew Eris, right? Yeah. Fucking hell, Rudius latched onto that like there was no tomorrow. He's not over Eris in the slightest. That was fantastically well done, right? Like I don't.
There's a lot of little hints like that where they're talking about like, oh, I've met this person, and I actually put that in my notes about how it's actually really neat to see that the lives that Rudius has touched, then went on to touch the lives of other exceptional people.
Well, exactly.
And his influence has helped spread,
the two beast people that he meets the first day he's at the school being... I know the cat girl was related to the chieftain of...
It's the eldest daughter of the chieftain that he's met, so he knows all her family.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yes, but I don't know if there is a relation to...
No, they've brought in the dog girl, because it's a contrast, and they might have some more depth for that. And also, can we point out the absolute genius of bringing out the gorilla girl?
Yes,
leaping out of a window. You stole those panties.
Yeah, but that's still I don't know. That felt more like school life stuff to me. But
honestly, I gave it a 1-star mostly as a joke. It is definitely more of
angry.
I'm angry at the opening. I'm angry that one of the things I loved the most about the first season, how the opening always wove into the story, and how that started to be a thing in second season has now just disappeared. I actually am really angry about that.
Contrasting points, Nasuth. I think it's because they're doing a school arc that is more like a regular anime that they're specifically giving it an intro. And if they leave the school within this season,
it'll go back.
That's going to go away.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Because if you look, every other episode where they've had the normal intro, sometimes they haven't put music to it. And it's usually when he's depressed.
Yeah, right? That's true.
When he's feeling happy, they put the intro music with it to show the world that he's going through and show him exploring it like he was before.
You might
but then when they've gone to what he's familiar with, which is like a school environment, they've put a standard intro on it. I think it's actually playing into the whole thing that they're doing with the intros.
Well, I also think that with the intro, they're trying to show the I don't know if dichotomy is the correct word, but like the fact that you have the three birds, right? You got the bluebird, which is resemblance of Roxy. You got the red bird, which is often in the background, very far away, which is Eris. And you got the green bird, which is Sylphie, which, actually touches his hand, rests on his hand and shit like this, which feels like, this is the direction that we're trying to.
It's a fantastic intro, sure, but I just.
Yes,
you're just angry.
I love lazy. The intro for introducing all of the.
Fuck off, it's lazy.
All of the new characters.
Compared to what they were doing, it's lazy. Yeah. I mean,
the bigger question I have, not to drag this on, but the bigger question I have is the fact that the girl here that's next to the bow and quiver of arrows, she's in.
She's gonna come back.
The majority,
she's 100% gonna come back.
You are in royal Nasuth mode today, right? But she's in all the promo material. And yet gone after episode 3. So I hope you're right, Nasuth. I hope she comes back. I really do.
In a sense, I think that what they should do with the show is that she should come back briefly to resolve the unfinished little plot thread
business,
so that he can move on and that she can move on from him as well. Because she left him angry, and that's going to fester. And so bring it back so that they can apologize and actually do that and become a little bit more normal again would be great. But not bring him back full time.
One thing I would genuinely kill for, right? I want a fucking world map to show how far he's been traveling, right?
Yes.
Because this is supposed to be huge continents apart now. Yeah. And it's just like, he's been traveling for years. Because it took him a year and a half magic is illegal,
so yeah.
Yeah.
It took him 2 years to travel across the Demon Continent. Then he spent a year and a half, I think, in the north before.
No, it was more than that.
Yeah, so it was a couple of years in the north. He met these adventurers as he went to the north, and he spent, I don't know, maybe a year with the first group. Then he spent a year at least with the second group, and then it's nearly a year to travel to the school. But he didn't. But so he's traveled across the north with the second group.
I think it was a case of they had to wait 6 months before they could even leave.
Yeah, because he spent the whole winter with the Lenolese banging every dude she could find.
Oh my god! I kind of wish she toned it down. I genuinely do. It's just like, my god.
That's the whole point. Is that she cannot.
Personally,
about her.
Personally, I think they're going to bring the other girl back for kind of. You're saying it's to resolve it, and that might be the ultimate goal. But I think before they get to that resolution, there's going to be kind of a love triangle that happens between.
There's already a love triangle.
Okay, well, love quadrangle then. Whatever.
Well, there kind of is. So you've got the love interest between Eris, Rudius, and Sylphie. You kind of have Roxy in there as well? Kind of?
Yeah, but specifically for this arc, it's going to be Rudius, Sylphie, and the other girl, I think.
And her.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're fine. Anyway, I think Nasuth...
Yeah.
I think Nasuth has undermined his value of.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let's.
Right. Let's
last one.
It's Xeno's turn to get super angry because I gave level 1 Demon Lord and One Room Hero a 3-star acquired taste. I know it started off real rough. I thought it was going to be very slice of lifey. It's kind of moved away from that though. This is up from a 1-star acquired taste. But I'm still leaving room for it to completely tank because it could just you know. So it's a little hard.
You said it got better.
It did get better, but it could tank. It could tank, Xeno. I always leave the door open for that. It does. It's really
And the trapdoor.
Yeah. So I feel that this moves towards something more the same way that Konosuba, to use that as a comparison, moves more from being just an isekai into something better, something elevated from your usual isekai. Specifically to the point that in episode 6 there's a full-on border dispute between the kingdom and the other one that Leo's in charge of. I can't remember the name of it. Yeah, they don't call it a kingdom, but essentially, yeah. It's kind of about how the impetuousness of youth can lead to a really, really strong disillusionment as an adult. And like when that midlife crisis hits him, it hits him hard. But then the Demon Lord comes along and is trying to help. It's also, it's never too late to get over that part of yourself and become something great again. Fight between the Kingdom and the Republic also, that's what it is, it's the Republic, also kind of represents how sometimes your friends can go in different directions, but you don't want to, you love them both still, so you don't want to show favoritism, and in some ways that can lead to you withdrawing and becoming somewhat shunned, and yet at the same time it's not, like, it's actually
Thaylien, I just want to say, Thaylien, this episode, you're my favorite.
There is improvement in Max as a person, as well as regaining some of his lost motivation to be a hero. My only worry now is that now that we're past episode 6, is it just going to go back to where it was with the slice of life stuff? Because episodes 3 through 6 were like building towards this thing, and now that miniature arc is sort of concluded, is it just going to go back? I don't think it will, because now Leo knows that Max is hanging out with demons, and I think that's going to lead to some more interesting things. We haven't seen the swimsuit demon in a while, and I'm kind of she's okay for comedy relief. I'm glad she's not really a super main character.
I swear I saw something in one of the later episodes where the Demon Lord goes into his human form and then starts giving an ice cream the business on a live stream, and then starts stripping. Like,
that did happen.
How is that? How is that worth like increasing the score?
Oh, so that was I
too am rather curious about that.
In that episode, they were trying to convince Max in episode 3 or episode 4, Max makes kind of a flippant comment where, like, I'll be dead in 10 years, what does it matter, and the Demon Lord really doesn't like that, because Max is like the only person who's ever, I'm going to call the Demon Lord her, I don't care, is the only person who's given her any kind of challenge, the only equal she has in this world, and so that really hits her hard. She doesn't want him talking like that about himself, and so they're like, okay, why don't you join us in the demon realm? We'll give you money. You'll have immortality. You'll have all this stuff. And he's like, no, I don't. No. And so then they try to help him. He decides, well, okay, fine. I'll get a job. I will improve my life. And he does it in the laziest way possible, which is try to become a YouTuber. And it's kind of funny. It's pretty funny. And eventually they're like, okay, maybe the Demon Lord can help in her human form. And that leads to the scene you're talking about where they're getting kind of lewd, and it cuts off. And so because like they get banned from YouTube, and so because that doesn't work, when he is presented with the opportunity to go visit the kingdom or the Republic, they kind of latch onto that. It's like maybe there's something there that you can learn, that you can do, that will make your life better. And if nothing else, at least it'll get you away. It'll get you away from here. And so that leads on towards the border dispute, and like it actually gives us a glimpse of the Republic rather than just what the kingdom has told us about it. We get to see Leo in action, which is pretty cool, and how Max is actually still kind of got it. He's still kind of got it a little bit. But then they go home. And I'm like, is that going to be the end? Is that going to be the end of that? Is it just going to go back to being slice of life stuff?
I mean, okay, I can see a little bit of why I'm your favorite in this episode, because I don't make jabs about being a YouTuber.
No, being a YouTuber is hard, and that's what he discovers. Is that it's not an easy thing, and so and he sucks at it.
The laziest way possible.
The laziest way possible.
Yeah,
I'm quoting you.
I mean, anyone can pick up a camera and be a YouTuber, but if you want to be a good YouTuber, if you want to be a good YouTuber, you have to put effort into it. He just wants to be a YouTuber, though, and he thinks that's all it takes.
I mean, to be fair, there are plenty of content creators out there that do not put effort into it, right? Yeah. And they somehow manage to make bank. I have no idea what that was. I'm going to leave that where it was. So, right, are we done?
So, is this the best show in my group? No. Is it actually really quite more fun than I expected it to be? Yeah. Yeah.
That's like actually the strongest for me. It's not the best show and the slightest in my group, but it's enjoyable to me.
I mean, what did you rate Gene of AI?
Oh, it was like a 4-star pass.
4-star pass.
Versus a 3-star acquired taste.
So, what did you rate My Happy Marriage?
Oh, that one was weird because I think I rated it highly for people that would enjoy that sort of thing. But for me, it was a pass.
Undead Murder Farce?
Was that a 2-star? 1-star?
It was 2.
Marriage. Undead Girl Murder Farce. It was acquired taste 5-star.
Oh, okay. There you
go. Okay.
Could be better. It could still improve. Undead Murder Girl Farce could go into must-watch territory. But the fact that it's so weird and it uses wordplay a lot, kind of like, I can see people not enjoying it.
Right, so that's it for the reviews and everything. Let's get this over with. Let's move on to...
What do you mean? We're on to some of the best parts. The interaction with our fans.
Yeah.
People
now you're finally out of the woods with me poo-pooing on all your choices.
Oh my... I'm irritated. Right. Before I start the supporter questions, I just want to say we're not sponsored by any company, but we are sponsored by Patreon, and you folks at home, by liking and subscribing, Strugel asks, what everyday mundane occurrence could be turned into an epic anime cliche moment? Example, eating a bag of crisps. Reviewing anime.
Almost missing the bus.
Oh.
What was that, Thaylien?
Almost missing the bus.
Almost missing the bus.
See, petting the cat works too, because...
You have to run, but you don't quite miss it. You actually manage to get on, and you can have that little dramatic moment of the bus starting to... turning its engine on, ready to move away, and then you get it, and you get the door, and then you're paying for your ticket in that little cut to show, yes, you made it.
Ricky7 plus coffee equals... Genes of Nasuth asks, what epic real-life occurrence could be turned into a slice-of-life anime? Any?
The bombing of Pearl Harbor.
Poopin!
Whoa! No.
Whoa! Nasuth!
What?
That was... No.
What?
No.
What?
No.
You could.
Because that wasn't epic.
Was.
Oh my God.
It was terrible, but it was still epic.
Terrible. No.
I don't
Even the
think
movie couldn't make it epic. No. Let's say...
Well, it's better than pooping isn't epic. Come on.
Epic. Ooh, how about...
The Titanic.
Maybe. No. I would say something like...
Nasuth has shite.
Why is my avatar stopped?
He's pooped his pants so hard that...
Oh, no. He shitted and farted at the same time.
No, I'm gone!
No, I would say for Slice of Life, the Rise of Gandhi.
Fair.
That's a properly epic story to tell, but could only really be told in a Slice of Life format.
All right.
I don't think it's going to come back. I think it's just broken.
Good. All right, level 1, Nasuth Lord. If you mixed epic battles with mundane day-to-day life, would it be a slice of shonen? No.
No, that's when you set up Shinji for lunch.
I see. Oh no, I'm huge.
Right. Okay, right. Let's move on to the comments.
Yes, and your avatar's quite big too.
Ooh,
right,
baby.
so
Ooh, baby.
The comments from the news last week. Zrugal says, I knew Crunchyroll had free/trial content, but it's a bit limited, and last I checked, they weren't expanding it, but reducing it.
Well, hopefully that news story means they're doing it the other way on that.
We'll never know. I love the idea of One Piece. Reminds me of Dragon Ball Kai. I hope it catches on.
Definitely, I hope it catches on.
But Dragon Ball Kai made by people who actually care about the show.
Yes.
Yes. People didn't care about Dragon Ball Kai?
Yes.
No, people didn't care about...
The people
who
who
made
it.
Kai didn't care about Dragon Ball Z.
They didn't?
No, clearly.
Not in the same way.
Really? I've watched a lot of Kai, and it's very reminiscent of Z.
Okay.
Oh, it is reminiscent because it's the same show, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just chopped out a lot of the dumb crap. Right.
Some of the dumb crap they chopped out was important Dragon Ball Z crap.
I mean, I got, like, halfway through the Frieza saga. Nah. Nah.
But Frieza is cooler.
Anyway. And now for the comments from the cast episode. Strombus Shell says, I feel like anime fashion is usually understated.
Understated. Yes.
Underestimated.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Would like to disagree.
And much more important than people think. The fashion displayed by characters represent much more than just a character sensibility, but also the show's iconic look.
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay.
I'm with you on that. Yeah.
Right. Zero says, after rewatching that intro, I can just say Nasuth's model looks great, even up close. I forget who made that, but I want to appreciate the work that was done by King of Nightmare.
Yep.
Yes, shout out to King.
When we were talking about fashion choices and Nasuth's poo-pooed the scarf, what do you mean, except the scarf, Nasuth? You are a scarf.
Fair point.
If you look at the early 1900s, people would dress up just to go on a family picnic. That is true. Oh wow, Brits can't cold wash their clothes, huh? I find that more interesting than perhaps I should. Honestly, that was just such a weird,
it's so weird
realization.
Yeah.
Weird downside.
Yeah, I'm not very fashion-minded. I'm not against wearing nice things. I just don't notice. I'm with Xeno. I can't stand jeans. I will totally change my outfit so I don't have to wear jeans I own. Come to think of it, I notice more fashion in games and MMOs than I do in real life.
Same.
And then Thaylien put, who the hell gave Thaylien any control over the topics? What a weird show. To be fair, though, I actually really enjoyed that episode.
Yeah, I put that in because, honestly, in both, I think from both Strombus and Zrugal, they both were like, I didn't expect this show to be so good. And like, yeah, it was really good. Thaylien did a really good job.
Yeah. Right.
I
so
feel I'm setting myself up for failure later.
Well, yeah, of course. Now we're going to put you in charge of all the topics.
Right, and don't worry, Nasuth fails every 5 minutes. So.
Lol.
Right, so moving on to the memes. Right.
I believe we have 5 viewer memes this week.
Right, so let's view some 5 memes.
Let's view these funky memes from you funky people.
Oh
yes.
God.
Oh, nice.
Yes. I saw a few variations of this. This is great. This is the best one, though.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I'm going to make this a new meme. Use this as a new meme template. Right.
God, that's brilliant. What the fuck?
Okay.
That's brilliant. That is fucking brilliant. Oh my fucking God.
Whoever submitted that.
Genius.
Well done.
Genius.
Right.
What the fuck?
Accidentally used his wife's expensive shampoo one time.
Fair enough. Next.
Hug me,
Puts on VR glasses. Hug me, you degenerate weeb. Heaps it to his face.
Oh man, the Virtual Boy was amazing, but also terrible. Oh. And finally from them.
Witch's extract strengthens resistance. Caffeine free. Oh dear.
I don't understand. Understand.
Good.
Okay.
Let's go to yours.
Right. This is how 15 to 30 second unskippable ads feel.
Oh.
Yeah.
I assume this is a spoiler for Blood War. Blood War? Yeah.
No, this is Naruto.
Oh, Naruto.
It's
okay.
Naruto.
I don't know the difference.
You stab him for like 1,000,000 years and it's only been a second.
The person who made Saitama's gloves. God. Nothing could take one punch except his gloves.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Anime eyes. The nose.
Yep.
The poster and title. The actual anime.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Classic Barbenheimer meme.
Oh my God.
Wait for it.
Yeah.
Right. And a normal conversation. Did you guys know that Wolverine can't be circumcised? I think this one actually went out.
Oh my God!
I think this actually went out as one of my Kanpai memes too. So
it did. It did.
Yep. Did you guys know that Wolverine can't be circumcised? I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, it's a silly idea, but yeah. Right.
So on the Thayliens.
Oppenheimer. Bombs kill people. Telerin alarm. Explosions. La 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 la. That was fun. I wasted an entire day playing games and watching anime. I'm happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I had a month off from doing Notice Me Senpai, and that's basically all I did.
Mm-hmm. Starting a new anime.
Oh, no.
These flowers.
Oh, no.
What is an unpopular anime opinion that y'all have?
Guts didn't really go through shit, and people keep him overhyping him.
Guts from Berserk?
Yes. The other is that's been through worse. Like, okay, he got as a baby, so what? He got cucked. Oh, too bad, nigga. He lost his arm. Okay. Nigga from Tokyo Ghoul. Kaneki had to read the ABCs backwards. Scorpions in his eye. Did he have to eat shit or something? Why can't Guts move on for that bitch Casca? Because he's retarded. Oh. Okay?
I mean...
Fucking hell!
I mean...
Worst of worst takes.
Wow!
See, I thought now Xeno could actually appreciate this one.
It's true.
Jeez!
Right.
The fucking whiny kid from Tokyo Ghoul had it worse than... Fuck off.
Here, I forged the panties you wanted. Only when you find true love will it shine blue. I know it's only our second date, but would you like to come home and watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure together?
Yes.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Yes. Oh no. I don't know if I've seen this one before, but I've seen yeah. Haven't seen that one before, but I've seen versions of this. That's good. That's
He
good.
just does it.
That's good.
Right, and then we're on to mine. AI art is terrible. It can't even draw hands properly. Can you?
No.
I can.
No.
He lies.
I can.
Right? Fatherlessness is invented. Therapists and prison owners.
Not wrong.
You're in a
God,
flashback,
yes.
so everyone should be fine in the end. I don't remember you in the main story.
This also went under the Kanpai meme. By the way, if you're not following us on... oh, wait. I'll save that for the end.
Cool. No Game, No Life should have a season 2. No! Dorohedoro!
Yes.
No!
Yes.
Dead Man Wonderland! There's a Glepner. It's like, don't judge me. I want a second season for all of those. I'm not kidding. All of them.
I still need to watch Gleipnir.
All of them.
No Game, No Life first.
Yes, please.
Right. Who had the saddest backstory in your opinion? And you got Tanjiro, Naruto, Luffy. I was like, guts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
this is actually perfect for Thaylien. It's good for the fact that Thaylien had that meme earlier.
Yep,
Yes.
true. Right. Hey, Lieutenant Ibuki, when do I get paid for all the work I've been putting in? I'm not a charity, I'm a warrior. Let me get back to you on that. We are violating so many child labor laws and child soldier treaties right now.
It's not wrong. It's not wrong.
Not wrong. Not wrong.
Was that all yours?
That may have been my last one.
Did I skip one?
No.
No, I didn't skip one. Hey, excellent.
Yeah.
We're done.
There we go. Right, that's it for the memes. Next week, Nasuth is loading me up with a good time because it's supposed to be anime versus manga, or we talk about how anime portrays space or something instead. God damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Also, you can find
But
more of
that
those
is it.
memes. You can find more of those memes at Kanpai, twitter.com/Kanpai_cast, or on the Discord server.
Or the Discord. Yeah. Right, so
Links
that
in
is
the
it for this
description.
week. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching / listening. And now it's time to bottoms up and Kanpai!
Bye!
Bye!
Kanpai.